Hello, this is Dr. Mia Lueth. It is November 26, 2025, 10:44 p.m. Eastern Time, New York, USA. I'm watching the butt end of the Chicago Blackhawks, Minnesota Wild. So the Hawks are now up 3-2, and it is third period. Uh, yeah, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I know the Jets lost again to the Washington Capitals. And I mean, it was a loss. This is true. Yeah, one of those goals Comrie didn't even see because he was screamed. Yes, hi, Comrie comes right is the goalie. So I need to make this abundantly clear to people who like to just jump online and say what you're going to say and write all this crap. And it starts to get really apparent that you don't really know how the NHL works at all. So I'm going to bring up names, but here we go. I'm looking at the post game. I did this last game. I put up the link in the comments, and I am right now pulling it up on my phone. I am abundantly aware of how the National Hockey League works, and I'm going to address some of this for the air quote fans. So what I'm asking these people is, are you just going to stop watching them? Are you not going to go to games anymore? Are you going to pick a different ice hockey club? No, I'm going to say what I'm going to say because you all have the right to say whatever you want to say, whether it's right or wrong. See, sometimes this isn't about opinion. I mean, there are people I talk to online having to do with the Jets, and yeah, they have opinions. They have pretty informed opinions. And so that's the difference. So yeah, I'm pulling this up on my phone. Oh geez, come on. Things like that. So did you kind of write down the final buzzer, still had the belief that you could pull this one out? There was some play. You're at the end buttons between Wilson and Speed on the goal line for. All right. I'm not going to do it on this phone. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to do this online. Yeah, my take on the game, I had to be honest. There were a few boo-boos. However, okay, the defenders were pretty much very thorough. And quite a few made some pretty good save assists to help out comms. So, that was a little better. And some of the passing and puck protecting improved as the periods went on. I will say that during ozone time, the Jets did a little too much passing and not enough shooting. If they just shot straight down the middle, okay, like some were trying to get a little sneaky around the bend. If they'd have shot down the middle instead of passing, like some shots should have gone off. And that is one of the reasons that the Cap scored a goal. That last goal that the Washington Cap scored didn't really need to happen. I mean, that's just hockey fact. If you look, okay, you'll see what I mean. He tried to pass, to somebody who wasn't able to receive a pass. And if he'd shot, then it's less likely the Washington Capitals would have had a breakaway like that. I mean, that they set up the Washington Capitals for a really easy goal. Okay, so granted, another loss, and you know, we've got a player just point blank saying it sucks. Which, yeah, it does. It does. And as someone who understands the game, they weren't that slow. Okay, it's that's just plain fact. They were winning some puck races. Okay, they were digging for the puck. They were coming out of corners with pucks. They were interrupting shots. They were forcing a couple turnovers. They made a couple turnovers too, but nothing like they had been doing. So some of the things that they say that they've been working on actually worked out. Okay, no shorthanded goal. There weren't a bunch of stupid penalties. Our best penalty killer. I mean, obviously, Tom's is not a bad goalie, people. Okay, but our best penalty killer had to have knee surgery. Okay, hi. I'm actually going to put your name online, and I'm going to say it online at Gillies Matt, GILLISMATT. Says, we need Helly back. Send Comrie to the minors. Okay, I don't know how old you are. I don't know. I know a couple things. You are not an experienced National Hockey League fan. And as a Jets fan, let's just put it to you this way. Things would go easier for you in your life there, Gillis Matt, which I'm putting a little thing here. Yeah, this one at GILLISMAT. Okay? Your life would be a little better when experiencing Jets ice hockey games if you understood that Comrie is our second goalie and he's not going to get sent down to the minors. That's just not going to happen. There is almost no chance that happens. Okay, absolutely no chance. All right, that's not wise. That's not Jets hockey. That's not NHL hockey. Okay, he's on a one-way contract to back up Connor Hellebuck. Well, Connor can't play, Gillis Mats. So who else do you think should be playing in the nets? You may want Hellebuck back, but if you can't handle the fact that Hellebuck's not going to be back for another, 5 to 6 weeks or so, 6 to 4, or actually 5 to 4 weeks, then stop watching Jets ice hockey. Clearly, it is upsetting to you. Okay? I mean, it's one thing some of us get a little like, okay, I know, injury. All right, I know. I know it's not easy on the team, but Gillis, Matt, you did this the last time, and yes, now you're the same obnoxious one who did it this time, trying to say send Comrie down. Are you trying to get famous or something? Well, here you go. If the way the National Hockey League works and professional ice hockey and the Winnipeg Jets works is a problem for you, then I suggest you find another sport, or you wait to make any kind of comments until you actually understand how things work in the National Ice Hockey League. Okay? Your words are meaningless and probably ignored by most. Okay? Hellebuck had to have knee surgery. Get over it. Suck it up. Another one who needs to suck it up. Yeah, with the whole goalie thing. Yeah, hi. Mackie. Okay? Mackie 23X. Comrie is not reliable. That's why Helly plays so many games too. Okay. Who the fuck is gonna take our net? Who? Okay. I mean, get over it. Right? You're getting upset over things you have absolutely no control of. Okay, I'm gonna put this Mackie23X. You're going up on here too. At Mackie23X. All I am doing this because I can. Because everybody else wants to get their thoughts and opinions and all your other crap all out. Well, so do I. So do I. Okay? So, Mackie23X. Hi. Okay. Comrie has no choice. He is our secondary goalie. He's not going to get sent down to the minors because we just pulled a goalie up from the minors. Now, I think that of all the options that are available, Comrie is our best option, and he's not that bad a goalie. Now, I am a goalie, the two of you, and I can tell you, one of those goals that got scored on him, yeah, he got screened. He didn't even see it. That fucking happens. That happens in ice hockey a lot. One was a breakaway, okay, that was caused by his team up ice. And probably about 75% of all the goalies in the National Hockey League would have had the same result as Comrie. And he would have been scored on. Okay? If you people want to get online, out in the public, and keep harping on the same crap, it must be bothering you. It's probably putting stress on you. Maybe it's even making you physically sick because you. So stop then. Okay? There are people all over the place who understand there's not a lot that comms can do. Okay? Let Hellebuck go. Let Hellebuck go. Let Helly go. Okay? How about you put in some prayers and some positive healing vibes for Hellebuck? Because he can't play right now. He had knee surgery. Get over it. You're getting all upset over something that is absolutely not under your control at all. Who are you trying to tell? Are you trying to tell the team? All these people who know all this stuff about Jets hockey and the National Hockey League, people with years and years and years and years of experience, And you're telling them that they're stupid and they should put Hellebuck in. Well, I think it's more that you're a little on the ignorant of what happens in ice hockey, and especially Jets ice hockey, and don't actually follow the team, because you would know to just keep your zippets. There's no Hellebuck for a few weeks. Okay, yeah, admittedly. I mean, I started noticing it in the second period. They did start picking up in the second period. They played a better second period and third period. Obviously, the Caps had them on the first period. I can't say it was a full 60-minute effort, but I can say there were more guys on the team putting in effort, and they played better as a team than they have recently. And the passing and puck protecting got better as the game went on. This is just true. You can see it. Okay? That's just true. Too much passing in the ozone. There are several guys who got near the middle or who were close to the blue line should have just tried to wing it. Okay? Because there could have been rebounds, but it puts pressure on the D, it puts pressure on the goalie, and there were some guys who were ready to collapse in if there were bounces. Okay, so at one point, someone should have taken a shot at the net instead of trying to pass it to someone who was not ready to receive, and that's how the Washington Capitals got a hold of the puck and basically had open ice to go score on comms. 75% of the goalies in the National Hockey League would have been scored on at Gillies Matt and at Mackey 32X. Now, you can think what you want about me, but it just seems like some of these are really bothering people, and you wouldn't be so bothered about it if you actually knew what was going on. So maybe not get online until you know more about what's going on. Also, a couple few trying to say, put the kids in, let the kids play. Listen, we're looking at making a playoff team. Okay? A playoff team. We're not starting from scratch. Some of those guys had to be sent down. You understand? Because one, if they're on two-way contracts, there's only so much room on the roster. Now, because Hayden Fleury is out right now on the IR, we have room of 23 guys on the bench. They can only have so many guys on the bench. We have room to be keeping one of them up. Okay? But we can't just bring up any guy we want whenever we want and put whatever guy we want in whatever position we want, because the other guys have contracts and they should get minutes too. I mean, some of you all think that it's just so easy, and it's not. Okay? Some of the younger guys are getting a chance. I mean, Sammy came up and he proved himself, so he stayed up. Okay? Miller and Shen have not been impressing people. Stanley wanted out and asked for a trade at one point. But look, Stanley is, right, one-way contract, part of the D Corps. Lambo is should really understand that he's perfectly freaking fine being the star with the Moose for a little while, okay? Because he's still in the developmental system. Now, we did bring up someone from we let one of the young guys play tonight, guys. Sallow played with Sammy, a defensive parent. There are a lot of things that the club can't do because of how things work. Now, once Hayden Theo comes back, I believe that's concussion. So he's taken a while. He hasn't even skated. Okay. Pionk went down. So Miller's getting a chance. Okay, well, Miller's getting a chance. Well, Miller's not impressing anyone. Neither is Ford. I mean, the Jets know what they're looking for. Jonathan Taze, number one, is good for the intangible things, not just on ice things. Well, some of you may not understand that word intangible. Maybe you are not as big a fan or a student of the game like some of the rest of us. Quit whining about things you have no control over. Now, if you make some pretty well educated comments, like some people do when they're in live chats that have to do with the Winnipeg Jets, and if some will ask questions because they don't know, okay, but to point blank just say, oh, no, Chevy's just going to go get another old guy. Okay, they aren't that old. And no, I don't care what any hockey people do. Y'all just jump on the fucking bandwagon with this. Oh, it's, American Thanksgiving is how you can tell. Bullshit. Like somebody was trying to give numbers today. Well, I'm going to give you some numbers that prove that wrong. Okay? See, I'm the kind of fan I'm just going to stick with the team. And I don't ever give up on the playoffs until it's 0% chance. And that doesn't start happening until like January, February, sometimes March. Now, there is one club in the Central Division that's got horrible, serious issues. We are also learning, okay, what works best. And the coach has been moving around the lines to give some of those young guys a chance. Our best penalty killer has not been available. Combs has stepped in. Okay? So we did all right on the penalty kill. I think we did score on a power play. But yes, we didn't get a shorty scored against us. I mean, if you watch Jonathan Taze, he knows how to protect the puck. He knows how to maneuver to set up another guy to score. He knows how to face off, people. Okay? Now, the guys are like, yep, picking up on that. We're working on that this game, you could tell. We were getting the puck after some of those JT1 face-offs. Plus, he can teach that to the other guys on their team. Understand what intangibles are. And if you understood anything about Jonathan Taze, okay, you would know. Okay, he will put in extra work. He will change his diet. He will do whatever the fuck he needs to do to continue to just slowly but surely adjust, become a jet, become a jet, become a jet. Because for a long time, he was a Black Hawk. Now, a lot of you guys got this like pie in the sky, unrealistic view. Oh, shit, they scored. It's a tie. Ooh. Oh, I think that game just dropped on me. All right. Oh, anyway. Okay? Like, point blank, some of you have absolutely no idea what you're really saying. And as I say, every single time, you should listen to the team post-game press. Sometimes the practice press and the pre-game, but at the very least, the post-game. So instead of writing about stuff, maybe you listen. Okay? I have seen teams in the NHL just come out like freaking gangbusters in the last like 10 years. And then injury after injury, and then they go on a long road stint, and then such and such happens, and then the next thing you know, they're falling down. Okay? I mean, if you only give a shit and like your team when they're winning, then I'm not sure what kind of fan that is, but it isn't my kind of fan. Now, you can call me delusional or any other kind of thing, and I'm going to say, well, we can revisit this, 50 games from now. Do you know how many games are played in an NHL season? Do you know the names of all the players? Do you know the name of the coach? Do you know what the difference between a one-way contract and a two-way contract is? Do you know how cap space works? Do you know what waivers are? I mean, you obviously think that everybody playing personnel and everybody else that has everything to do with a National Hockey League franchise are just plumb dumb stupid. So you've chosen to write out loud, insult them. I'm sure they know that you don't know what you're talking about. Like many other people. Granted, I was really vibing for a win too, especially against Washington, D.C., for very specific reasons. Some people were saying, no, it's not Com's fault. Can't blame Comrie. Right. Sharon Hoffer. No. Okay. Okay. You understand? Like, I kept putting in there, yes, but okay. And then there's some I'm saying, okay, well, they can't keep putting guys on the roster. They have to have a certain amount of positions. Who are they? They have Miller up on the roster. They sent Ford down because, right, he's not quite ready for the big times. Okay? You guys are all like, oh no, we need to trade. We need to do this. I'm like, well, Chevy doesn't care what you want. The Jets are old and slow. Fans got way too sold on Toes being on the team because he just made it slower. Sure, he's great on the face-off, and he's not the Toes that won 3 cups. And I'm like, he's not supposed to be the Toes who won 3 cups because that is not his role. But he is a fellow leader who knows what it's like to be captain, which supports our captain, Adam Lowry, who's number 17. Do you know what position he plays? He can teach guys stuff from a champion perspective. He probably works harder than most of you ever will in your entire lifetimes. He's learned how to manage his health. Okay? Young guys start to make mistakes. Young guys start bunching up like ill-fitting underwear. Young guys have trouble protecting the puck. Taser is really good at setting up other guys for scoring. Our penalty kill did all right. Our power play, all right. I mean, we didn't get a shorty scored on us. Well, now they know kind of like what to do. I mean, it's a bummer. We lost. I know. And I'm like, geez, guys. Cutting it close. Cutting it close. I still think the Jets are going to make the playoffs. I look at the other teams, you understand? Right. There is one team that probably is not going to factor because they're just imploding every which way in the Central Division. Do you know how many divisions there are in the NHL? Do you know what the conferences are? Do you know who the teams are in our division, the Central Division? I mean, yeah. And teams these days get into the playoffs with just 1 point. I mean, it could be just 1 point. Now, it could go one way or the other, but it is way too soon for anybody in their right, sober mind to be thinking that it's time to blow up the bench, fire the coach, and get a new GM. You're allowed to get online and say whatever you guys want. And you're allowed to put forth whatever the hell you want. Well, so am I. I agree 100%. I was watching it. There were times when they should have put the puck toward the net rather than pass. And it did screw us at one point. That's how goal number 4 got scored. The Washington Capitals, our guys made it easy. That was a pretty big boo-boo. Should have just shot. Okay? But there are times when the kind of patience that the veteran guys who have played with the Winnipeg Jets for a while have, that will pay dividends. We're not starting from scratch. Okay? Realistically speaking, I wouldn't start worrying until about December 15th. I don't buy into all this crap. Like, you guys will sit there and tell me all kinds of bullshit, and I'm just like, okay, well, I don't study hockey that way. I understand the intangibles. I understand that at any moment, one of the key players at Colorado could go down. Some of them, right, could get upset and start really not liking the coach. Maybe management for one of these teams in the Central Division, hint, 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 right, is a little intolerable to the bench, and it's going to start affecting a team in the division. Okay, these guys have certain roles on the team, and you guys may not know what the franchise asked of them. Okay? So, sure, you have a right to be a fan, but some of you, I'm just point blank telling you, I'm like, I don't know why you're doing this to yourselves. Become a little more knowledgeable by at least listening to the club and the press that the club puts out so that you can understand better. Because just there's no freaking way Helly is going to be able to play for another like 4 to 5 weeks. Some of the young guys are getting shots. And some have not been impressive. And some might get sent back down. Might be waivers. But right now we have a guy out on the injured IR, so we have an extra space on the bench. When he comes back, we will not. Okay? So everybody take a deep breath, man. Just let it go. Try to be more informed about just hockey and the club, and some of this stuff will not be bothering you so much. I don't care. I'm just going to keep being a fan no matter what. Okay? Yeah, I'm 53 years old. I know actual people. I mean, I know an owner of an NHL franchise. I know a few goalies. I know a few others, and I'm telling you, point blank, people like some of you fans, you're doing it to yourself. You got to let go of some stuff. Pay a little more attention to what the club is saying, and be aware that no, they can't just put a bunch of new guys on the roster, and they can't just bring up the Moose because the Moose is the Moose. Okay, some guys may want to try and push a little to get, NHL time. I'm going to tell you, however, that sometimes they're just being impatient, impetuous youngsters who may not be seeing the full vision of proper development with a club. And yes, I am going to say good things about Stanley because for quite some time people have been dogging Stanley, and I got to be honest with you, he was pretty good last year, so I don't know why all of that was happening in the first place, and I'm allowed to say that. And you can all say, well, he did this and he did that, and I'm like, well, okay, how many turnovers, how many penalties did he have? Was it that egregious? He's pretty intimidating. He was scoring at least one goal. He's already beaten his scoring record with 3. Seasons prior, 1 goal. Everybody as a team needs to elevate. Cons is now starting to understand and get in the rhythm of being the number 1 starting goalie. These are all real things that actually happen in the National Hockey League. There's gonna be a team, I guarantee you, in our division that is gonna start slip sliding. Now, see, we're holding on. We do need to win, obviously. Defensive responsibility was much, much better the whole game. But yeah, as a team, working together, certain things, right? It wasn't exactly a 60-minute game, but we don't suck, and it wasn't that bad. And no, you can't have Helly because it just isn't going to happen. So how about some people like start learning more about the game or take an interest in what's happening before you get online and before you get all upset about things that you have no control of. Some of it the team has no control of, some of it, right, the coach has no control of, and some of it the GM has no control of. Chevy is not a panic trader. I guarantee you that. Who gives a shit about American Thanksgiving? I mean, I know people have to have something to talk about so they can get paid. Fine. But some of you people who jump on stuff, like, you don't get paid, and you need to, like, stop harping on things that people who do know what they're talking about keep trying to tell you. This is the second time, yes, at Jilly's, Matt has been told Varley is not available. I'm allowed to do that. And you can ignore me all you want and everybody else, but it's not going to change a goddamn thing. If they don't make the playoffs, there's still a reason for me to watch Jets ice hockey because they're still playing and it's hockey. And I love ice hockey. Be very careful how you tread, Winnipeg. Some of you. If they don't win, we'll lose patience. We're not going to get season tickets. We're not going to go to games. And I'm like, okay, right. But I guarantee you, yeah, go pick the winning team. The one that's way up, right. Stick with them for a while. And you will see that the same shit happens in cycles and ebbs and flows for every goddamn team in the National Hockey League. So those of you who get corrected by people, and those of you who are told, okay, well, that's just not possible. And, oh, that's just not going to happen, because that's not how shit works. You guys should really learn what Jonathan Taze's work mentality and understanding of playoff ice hockey is. It's not just what he does on ice. That's not the only reason that players are on the game, in the game. And I've seen some 38-year-olds have some beautiful seasons. Oh, well, Ovi is older and he's still going. And you guys were all like, oh, yeah, Ovi. Look how good he is. Oh, Crosby. Yager. I mean, what if I ran around calling you all young and dumb all the time? Yes, I'm going to express myself. And you all can ignore me all you want. But some people have learned when they revisited stuff that I wrote about ice hockey or that I talked about on ice hockey. Oh, gee, no, I really did know what the fuck I was talking about. I've been doing it for a very long time. Have some respect for the human individuals who play the sport that you claim to like on the team that you claim to like. And at the very least, give them the benefit of the doubt until there was 0% chance of them being in the playoffs. Go Jets.